Alright guys, welcome back. Sorry if this looks a little weird. It's humid, so it's screwing up my lenses. Today, we will not be at the haunted house. Today we are doing haunted house business. So you guys know Midwest Haunters happened about a month and a half ago or so. About a year ago, we were a part of a team that was involved in the planning of Midwest Haunters. When they made the choice that they were moving it to Chicago, they brought a bunch of haunts from the area in to say, like, what should we do? What should it be about? And now they're having another one of those tonight. Don't know exactly what they're planning on asking us. I'm sure it's about what you think. How can we fix it for next year? So we have a unique kind of view because we were able to experience from every aspect, from attendee to vendor and haunted house, because we had all three. So we'll be able to give a lot of input for them. I will record when we get there. I don't know if I'll record while we're talking because I think it's kind of top secret. They don't want others hearing about it, but I will recap everything when I leave, so you know what we talked about and things like that. Then tonight when I get back, we will go up to the haunt and check it out. I have Devin and Nick is up there. He brought his son. They're going to be working on the haunt tonight. For those of you who are new, Nick owns a home haunt right outside of St. Louis on the Illinois side. He works about 20 minutes away from the haunt, and he always likes to come and help us out. He learns stuff. He just hangs out. He's an awesome guy, and his kids are really involved in the haunt too. So I told him, bring them out. So he brought one of them this time. I'll be there tomorrow. I'll actually meet him tonight when we are back. So anyway, we're heading out to Illinois. We got a long drive, hour and a half, and then we'll end up there. If we have any interesting conversations on the way, we will cue you guys up so you can hear them and see what's going on. So, are you ready, Joe?
Yep, I'm ready.
All right, we're ready. All right, so I had an idea yesterday about our promotional flyer. I found one online that was pretty cool, and it had some great information on it, but it said hiring makeup artists, managers, actors, technicians, I think artists or something was on there too. And Mr. Hutchins made a comment about, like, oh, we don't really need makeup artists and technicians and all that. I think I want to keep all of them on there except managers. I think, like, even hiring the technicians, but I think what we do, because, like, I've noticed, I was watching, like, our older vlogs, and, like, there was a lot of people there helping us, and now it is not. So I think if we open it up to newer people, because, like, we always have a few people who come and, like, want to help build, but there's nothing for them to help build when they are there in August or October. So I thought about it, and I think we take them on as, like, apprentices, and they work with you or Glenn, and they just follow you for...
Oh, you're talking to me?
Yeah. So, like, they follow you or Glenn, and they do whatever. Learn how we work in October, and then move into helping us with our build. What do you think?
Well, the problem that I see with taking on an apprentice for what I do is I do things a lot different because being the owner,
Right.
I I take extra precautions because, you know, when I'm wiring stuff up, you know, I go the extra mile. When it comes to stuff like that, I don't take shortcuts because, you know, in this business that we do, you know, a lot of times we're hacking something or, you know, making something do something that it ain't supposed to do.
Right.
So I always have to take extra precautions that we don't burn the place down or electrocute one of the people that, you know, are working there. And people get bored sometimes when they work with me. You know, we got one or two people, Jose, you know, he really takes an interest in doing the lighting stuff and the electrical stuff. And, you know, when we do the lighting, there's a certain way that I love to do it. That way, if there's an issue during the show, I know what the issue is and I can go find it. And I know where the points are connected. I know where power comes from. And it's hard to take on an apprentice who's just going to follow me and do the things that I do.
Right.
Most of the time when somebody's helping me, I'm on a ladder or something and they're handing me, you know, pliers or wire or whatever it is I need.
Right.
The construction part, yeah, that's kind of what we do. You know, we take kids under there, we show them how to use the tools, because I mean that's important. You know, when Glenn or myself or Jacob is building something, you know, we don't want to have to climb down off the ladder because we need a piece of wood that's so long. You know, we want who's working with us to know how to read a tape measure, you know, how to cut it precise. If we tell them, you know, hey, it's this, it's 96 inches long, or, you know, or it's short, you know, and we want them to know that we want that piece to fit tight, and that's how we want it cut. So that part is easy to teach, you know.
Right.
On the electrical part, if somebody has a good electrical background, you know, the adults that help me, it's usually pretty easy. If we're pulling wire for new outlets, or, you know, we're trying to put a drop somewhere because we build a new scene and we need power in there, it makes it a little bit easier. But
right.
You know, basically what I do is what union people would do who go to school for 4 years, you know, every day to learn this stuff. And it's hard when somebody's only there 2 or 3 days a week for them to understand. You know, I can't tell one of the kids, hey, I need you to run me a 4-box outlet over there, and you're going to go off of breaker number 20 in box B. You know, they don't understand that.
Right.
But, you know, if I tell them, hey, go grab me 4 pieces of conduit, you know, after I show them where the conduit is, and I try to always tell them, you know, hey, this is a union, this is a dead end connector, you know, or butt connector or whatever, when we're putting the pieces together. And then I kind of tell them, you know, hey, this is what we're going to need for this whole run of electric we're putting in. But the construction part's a lot easier. I mean, because once they learn to read a tape measure, most people can read a tape measure. It does move a lot quicker, you know, like with Devin when she came on, we taught her a lot about the construction side. You know, now she knows how to use a chop saw, a table saw, a jigsaw, you know, so that is a little bit easier.
Yeah, I'm thinking, so it's like every year at auditions, we get like a few people who come and they're like, I don't want to, it'll be like a girl who came to act brought her dad or her boyfriend or something, a friend of hers, who's like, I don't want to really act, but I'm pretty good at building. It's like, okay, well, we're not building any other things. Call us next year. Well, then they never do. So I'm thinking if we can take them on, but not as a builder yet, but as a like apprentice, and have them in October when we aren't building, but they're learning what Glenn does and what
the blackouts do.
Exactly. While we're open, or even like in our week where we're doing repairs and quick rebuilds and shit like that, they get to know the haunt and how we work, and they see what they are working toward first, and then having them on a build crew is easy.
Yeah, and something that I want to say to everybody is, because it was a good example you brought up there when you're talking about, you know, their dad shows up to help. how we ended up with Glenn. Because Alyssa, when we were at the other building, she kept telling us, hey, my dad is really good at, you know, building and doing this. And, you know, you hear that a lot. And the person will show up once or twice. And, you know, everybody knows in the haunt business that right away you don't come in and we're paying you some salary to do what you do. You got to come in and prove that, you know, one, you're into what we're doing, and two, you're capable of doing what we're doing. And I remember her talking to me about her dad, and I was like, you know, I kind of just gave her the, okay, you know, tell him to come on in. We can use all the help we can. And I remember the first project that he worked on with us was when we've got the new squeeze tunnel and we put it in, and he didn't understand how it was supposed to work. And, you know, I told him that we were trying to seal it up tight, and I figured, you know, it's going to take him 2 or 3 hours to get this thing screwed in. Well, I came back and he had it already blown up, and he didn't realize that you had to put a vent in it somewhere. And when he put it up, it blew the walls back and blew them apart because it was squeezed so tight together. But Glenn has turned out to be, you know, a blessing for our haunted house. You know, that's why in this business you can't never tell people no. You know, and you have to give them a chance. And you got to remember that, you know, people are kind of freaked out because in the haunted house business, 98% of it you build it how you would be building a house. And then that 2%, you're like, it's a haunted house. It don't have to be perfect. You know, and Glenn, when he builds stuff, it's built and it's built right. He's somebody that, you know, we don't ever have to watch over his shoulder, or, you know, he's been a blessing to us, and I can appreciate that. And that's just something that I thought about, you know, because sometimes, like I said, you give them like the, yeah, thanks, appreciate you being here to help. And you don't really pay attention to them too much. You know, you're like, go help that guy. He's cutting some trim boards or something. So pay attention out there to who shows up at your haunts, because, you know, they could be your blessing in disguise. You know, they're somebody that'll take a lot of headache off you. And, you know, a lot of times you and I, you know, we get burned out from these things that we do because it's day in and it's day out, never ending. You know, me on the business side, and then on the electrical side, and turning the wipers on because now it's pouring rain side. You know, you got to appreciate these people that show up and give them a real chance. You know, everybody that comes there.
Yeah. Nice shot of the Chicago skyline through the rain. Cool. Now for some expert parking. We spent a long time driving through like this whole parking lot. This is like the busiest mall I've ever seen. We're about 30 minutes late from the scheduled time that was supposed to start, but I'm sure everyone's just eating. So I'm gonna go in and party down, raise a little hell. Maggiano's, Little Italy, Italian restaurant. I've only eaten here one time, and it was last year at this thing. I got so close, he had to turn sideways to get out because apparently parking spots are not made for big trucks. So anyway, food, haunted house people. Truck. Nice driving, bitch. Next. So this is what scary haunted houses look like. Scary people. Look how scary we are. Alright guys, so the meeting's over. Everything was going well, and I brought up some questions we had about the haunted house booth. And then everyone started to like hate me, and then everyone started to be happy again, and yeah. Midwest Haunters is really a good thing. Sorry, I walked into the restroom, didn't want to record in there, but Midwest Haunters is a really good trade show. And for any of you that are running a smaller trade show, this is the best one to come to, or running a smaller trade show, a smaller haunt, this is the best one to come to get your feet wet. Everyone has things that you can take with you right now. They have smaller items. They have less expensive items. They have, I think it's Chris from Haunted House Chicago.
Safe drive. Take
it easy. They have introductory classes to teach you haunted house things. That's where I teach classes. You can actually come there and meet the people that you see online that are posting on all these things. We'll hang out and answer questions. We'll say hi. You can ask us anything. You can meet us, all that stuff. I'm there. You can meet Alan Hops, all these people. And it's really just a great thing for anyone opening a haunt that's not made it to Transworld yet. So anyway, I'm gonna head up to the haunt, see what kind of progress we made after a 2-hour drive back. There's a pretty cool shot of the Chicago skyline, the creepy moon in the background. It'd look even better if these streetlights didn't look like shit, but there it is. Look at the creepy moon. Alright guys, let's see what they knocked out while I was gone. I think they were distressing. Maybe not. Well, she asked about it, but it doesn't look like she actually did it. So, there's that. Nothing in here. Did they do anything? Nothing in here. Looks like they worked on corn because the pipe is up on the horses. Let's see. Corn. They made corn. Cool. So that's what they did. Anyway, darkness. So, yeah. Planning meeting for Midwest Haunters. Nothing really interesting to tell other than there was a bit of drama, but we hashed it all out. Everything's good. So, anyway, that's going to be it for today. Thank you guys very much for watching. We'll be here again tomorrow, right back at our build. Updating stuff, getting it done, working in the warden's office. So it's gonna be it for today. Thank you guys very much for watching. I'm Justin Hill tuning out. Make sure you hit subscribe to enter our 1,000 subscriber contest. We're getting close, almost at 700, which puts us really, really close to where we need to be. I'm Justin Hill tuning out. You stay scary. Thank you guys very much.